For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Edition of the Focus program. Glad you are along. We've got some very interesting segments lined up for you today. We're going to get a report first off on Marine City and what's going on with the situation with the Blue Water Ferry. Then a couple of crazy guys from Port Huron are going to join us and talk about the Irish Wake of Patty O'Toole, which is a play. I just love saying that. It's a fun one. The Irish Wake of Patty O'Toole. That's going to be a play coming up in Port Huron shortly. And then finally, members from the St. Clair Theater Guild are going to come and talk about an event they got going to raise money for their scholarship foundation, and it's a dueling piano event. So let's begin with the mayor of the Marine City, David Vandenboscche. Nice to see you. Welcome back to CTV. Down on the end is Erika DeLange. Nice to see you again. Executive Secretary Director of the Marine City Area Chamber of Commerce. And new to Focus, the owner of Anita's, John Stewart. Welcome, John. Nice to see you here.
Thank you.
You guys have had lots of press about the situation that's going on with the Blue Water Ferry. You've had a couple meetings. You're here today to bring us up to date. What's going on?
I had a meeting with the Blue Water Ferry owners, the Delgatti family. They're working on getting the cost down. Originally, we heard $4 million, $2.5 million. To buy the bridge components that they need, it's going to be $818,000. They're now trying to get the solid numbers on demolition and the construction of it, and they are pretty sure that they won't have to disturb any of the water. So it looks like the restrictions of the spawning fish and crayfish and whatnot isn't going to impede the progress.
So they wouldn't be putting any pilings in or anything along those lines? Correct.
They won't be disturbing the bottom sediment. So they're still working diligently to get those numbers and find out. As far as the financing of it, they're working on getting that. I haven't checked the GoFundMe page lately to see where they're at, but the family, I didn't know this, the family said that if GoFundMe takes 3%, so they don't want to throw in hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, if you throw in $1 million, you lose $30,000, and that might well take care of the demolition costs.
Right.
So they're collecting their funds, have those set aside, and are looking to get this done. There's been a letter that went to the Canadian government to ask if their Army could help out in this situation, and they said we can't do it before April 1st. They didn't say yes, but they didn't say no, so that's promising.
Positive stuff.
Yeah.
A lot more positive than the first few weeks of the situation.
Yeah, if hopefully things keep progressing as quickly as they did in the last week, because it went from 1.5 million and no to 820,000, and we might be able to help you, or the door's open a little bit.
That's fun. That's phenomenal. That's fantastic. It's really positive news, Your Honor.
Huge compared to what we were dealing with. I mean, it's already been extremely slow downtown, as John can attest to. It's not the same without that ferry opening, and it's an international border crossing, along with the backup for the Blue Water Bridge. So, it's vital to keep it open.
Did I read there's something like there's 150,000 transits a year across the ferry both ways?
Yes.
And you at the first meeting I was there, and you were talking about the effect, the residual effect, like on people for GARs. Go through that and talk to and your tacos.
Right. If we're buying burger from our local Zimmerman's, our local meat provider butcher, they're getting their meat from farmers around the area. But where are those farmers getting their feed? Are they getting it? It spreads out. It has a rippling effect. I went to, I get my tortillas at Mexican Village, and I go down there weekly, and they said, what's going on? I said, what do you mean what's going on? Well, your orders haven't been as big as they normally are. And I said, well, we're a little challenge right now. The ferry's closed. And so even a company as far as Detroit is feeling it a little bit, because they're asking me, hey, what's,
One of the things I observed when I went to that meeting a week ago was the diversity of people and the diversity of interests that were there. And nobody was arguing, nobody was fighting. It was all, let's solve this problem. Let's get together and figure out how we can do this. And there was a great input.
Yes. Yeah, geographically, I mean, if you take a 15-mile radius, we've got the river right at our side. Our half a radius is gone there, so we're going to have to, as we always are, the community's always looking to draw people to it. It's a great little town, so now we're challenged in that one of the arteries has been severed, and we have to put it back together.
Well, 800,000 is a big number, but it's more of a doable number.
Correct.
Than what we previously heard a couple of weeks ago.
Correct, and that is in Canadian currency also. So there's another big.
People probably did not realize that 3% was collected by GoFundMe. I can understand why they want to collect it, but that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
Okay, Erika, what's the area chamber is obviously really involved. Tell me your details.
Right. Well, when John wanted to get the businesses together, he approached me to reach out to our area businesses and get them involved. Obviously, as has already been said, our area is noticing a difference with the ferry being closed, and as a chamber, we're very interested in making sure our businesses are happy. So we're trying to do everything we can to keep that conversation going. We've formed a great alliance with Sombra, our sister city, we call them, and do a lot of international events together. So we want to make sure that we keep that, going in the future. So anything we can do to help get that going would be great. So it was wonderful that John took the initiative, and I've thanked him several times for doing that and getting everyone involved so that they know what's going on. And this update has been amazing. This is actually the first I've heard of a lot of it today because I missed the meeting last night, unfortunately. But yeah, it's good stuff. Exciting.
Good stuff. Your thoughts, Your Honor?
Well, the ferry's iconic. When people come up to me, are you from the town that has the ferry?
Right.
And we've got a history with the Blue Water Ferry, because even pre-9/11, our fire department used to do mutual aid to Canada.
Oh my God, that's one I did not hear.
Yeah, and they've always stood up for the fire department. They actually let both departments ride on the ferry we had a 3-hour cruise one night, and they took us up and down the river.
Oh my God.
We had a DJ on it. It was just, and they just support the community, both sides. So it's just something we have to have. I mean, we can't let it go by the wayside.
There was conversation at that first meeting whether the Customs and Border Patrol would close the port, but there's no rumors to that. That was just a discussion point.
No, I had a few people reach out to me and who know people in those veins, so to speak, and they definitely want the border crossing open. They see the value in it. It's just putting the final pieces of the puzzle back together and moving forward.
So the gasoline and propane cannot go across the Blue Water Bridge or through the tunnel in Detroit, but they can come to Marine City, right? Did I have that right?
I believe that's the case. I've seen tankers on there. I don't want to overstep my boundaries and say yes.
And we do have the anhydrous ammonia tankers that go across for the fertilizer plant net too. So.
But those are not allowed on the Blue Water?
I don't know if they aren't allowed or not, but they do transverse quite often.
Well, it is iconic, and it certainly supports the whole southeast Michigan. It's just not Marine City. Yes, it helps Marine City first, but it's got to have a big major effect on the whole southeastern Michigan.
Oh yeah.
What's coming up at the chamber that we got to know about?
Llama races.
When are the llama races?
March 10th.
Okay.
March 10th, they're coming up, and we do not have many tickets left. So call the chamber and reserve your spot because we are selling out.
What is a llama race, and how do I get involved? Where
all of
is
our
it?
llamas are sponsored. It's at the Marine City Banquet Center, 6 o'clock, March 10th. No tickets will be available at the door. You have to pre-order your tickets. And yeah, it's just a night of betting and fun and raffles. And yeah, it's a really good opportunity for our businesses to get together again and support each other. And it supports not only the chamber, but also Washington Life Center.
Okay.
We do it as a co-fundraiser, so
Okay.
yeah, it's a great night out.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't you need one celebrity llama jockey?
That would be
He's
great.
right here.
Yeah, right. Oh, the mayor will be there. Yes, the mayor.
Vandenboscche Farms puts in a llama.
They do have a llama. Yes, they
Supposedly
do.
getting dressed like a pumpkin this year.
Yes, and I
Go
can't imagine
figure.
why.
There you go.
It's conspired with my wife and her. on that
Yes,
one.
yes.
Your Honor, is there anything you'd like to bring up about business going in Marine City?
It's doing well. We're recovering from the big fire downtown.
Yeah.
Remove the buildings. Hopefully we hear some news soon on some new construction going on in there. Spring's coming, and let's hope for some good weather.
Yeah.
The water goes down.
Yeah, the water's been back up, the water's been back down. It goes up and down, but it's such a bright future for Marine City, and things are the inn on the water will be opening soon.
We're hearing ribbon cutting soon.
And
So.
what a great effort they put into the community. So, John, thanks for coming.
Thank you
very
very
nice
much.
to have you here. Your Honor, always good to see you. Erika, thanks
Nice
for
to see you.
bringing these two guys
Yeah,
along.
no problem.
We'll be right back with a couple crazy Irishmen, and we'll talk to them about the Irish wake patio tool.